Version 2 of the CarbonDoser Regulator is available in two different configurations. The first option is a complete solution that includes the CarbonDoser branded regulator and all the fittings and tubing necessary to begin dosing CO2. The second option can be added to any CO2 regulator on the market. It will come with the remote box, CO2 resistant tubing, a region-specific power supply, and a precision check valve. Depending on the brand of CO2 regulator you'd like to use, you will need to purchase the correct push-in fitting to use the included tubing. The most common fittings are NPT 1/4 inch, 1/8 inch, and 10/32. Regardless of which kit you purchased, the setup process is the same. If you're using a regulator such as the TUNZE 7077/3, you'll need to replace the compression fitting with the appropriate push-in fitting. Check to make sure the appropriate seal is in place and attach the regulator to your CO2 cylinder. Conduct the following bleed down test to assure the system is leak-free. Set the output pressure to 0 by rotating the adjustment knob counterclockwise. Slowly open the CO2 cylinder. Mark the reading on the high pressure gauge with a marker. Turn the cylinder off and leave it for 1 hour. If there has been no drop in pressure, the system is leak-free and ready to be set up. The first connection uses the push-in fittings on the regulator and the top of the remote box. Connect the remote box to your reactor using the supplied 1/4 inch CO2 resistant tubing. Connect the precision check valve inline between the remote box and your reactor. The direction of flow is indicated by an arrow on the body of the check valve. Connect the power supply to the bottom of the remote box. The CarbonDoser can be used with any pH or Aquarium controller on the market. The output pressure of the regulator adjusts the size of the CO2 bubble that will be released by the CarbonDoser. The higher the pressure, the larger the bubble. The output pressure gauge on some regulators, such as the TUNZE 7077/3, is measured in bar. Your specific reactor needs will vary, but as a starting point, it is recommended to set the output pressure between 5 and 10 psi, or 0.6 to 0.7 bar. Set the bubble count by turning the knob on the front of the remote box. The higher the setting, the more time between each CO2 bubble. Your CarbonDoser is now set up. It will consistently dose the same amount of CO2 until you make an adjustment, whether the rate is very high, as shown here, or very slow, as shown here. For a clean installation, the remote box can be mounted near your aquarium's pH or automation controller.